Alright Pixar, you've had a year to get your thoughts straight. Can you deliver another animated classic like you used to back in the day? Inside Out is the latest film from Pixar Animation Studios that tells the story of a young girl named Riley and the 5 emotions that occupy her head: joy, sadness, fear, disgust, and anger. Riley recently moved from Minnesota to San Francisco along with her parents, and she's trying to basically adjust to this new lifestyle, new home, away from her friends, and her emotions try to help her along the way. The plot goes deeper, but I'm just going to stop describing the plot right now because one of the joys about seeing Inside Out, let's see what I did there, is really seeing how the movie plays out and discovering all these things that happen. Now, I may have mentioned this in my review for Monsters University, but back in the day, Pixar used to make classic after classic after classic after classic. All of their films were critically praised, they made a lot of money, everyone loved them, they cracked top 5 lists. Pixar was just making a masterpiece left and right, and were at the top of the animation totem pole. And then they made Cars 2 in 2011, and everyone, including myself, was afraid that Pixar was just going to stoop down to the bottom of the barrel animation. Their follow-up films, Brave and Monsters University, were good, but something was lacking. They didn't have that click that the other movies seem to have. And with Inside Out, it's another masterpiece! Yes, I'm so happy to say that after 5 years, Pixar has finally made another classic. Like, this is their best film since Toy Story 3. It's got everything you'd expect from a Pixar movie. It's got the beautiful animation, the very creative designs. I may even say that this is Pixar's most creative movie. This movie is more creative than Toy Story, WALL-E, or Up, or any of their other movies, because they basically create another world, and it's not just like, oh, we created a world from the point of view of bugs, or oh, we created the world from the point of view of toys or fish or whatever. This is practically another world, and it looks beautiful. Except now I'm going to be wondering what my version of that world will look like in my head, because after Toy Story, I now think that my toys come to life whenever I leave the room, and now I'm going to be thinking, what exactly does the inside of my head look like? Thanks a lot, Pixar. It has wonderful voice talents. All the actors they got to voice the emotions are perfectly cast. Amy Poehler is Joy, and she fits that role perfectly. She's alive, she's energetic. The character of Joy is very much like Woody from Toy Story. Similar to how Woody saw his relationship with Andy as special, Joy sees that with Riley, where Joy pictures Riley as the person that she will always be with, she'll never let out of her sight, and she will practically die for. Although, how can emotions really die? I don't know. In terms of the other characters, you have Phyllis Smith, who voices Sadness, and she's really good in it also. And the animation for Sadness is perfect. Like, it's slow, it perfectly depicts the emotion, sadness, perfectly. Wrap your mind around that statement. Then for Fear, we have Bill Hader, and not only is his voice work good, but also the animation, because he's very wacky, he moves all over the place in Fear, and he's probably, out of all the characters, he's probably the goofiest of the bunch. And then for Disgust and Anger, you have Mindy Kaling and Louis Black, respectively, and both of them are perfect. Like, all of the voice actors, all the lead voice actors are perfectly cast. And that, combined with brilliant writing and character designs, makes for another batch of memorable Pixar characters. The movie is also really funny. There are a lot of jokes in there that hit perfectly, and there's not a moment where they go for like, ooh, the butt joke or fart joke, whatever, that some of the other movies like Despicable Me would go to. I mean, I like the Despicable Me movies, but Pixar knows how to tell jokes and make them in a sense that is very classy and smart. And then the movie, aside from being funny, it's exciting, and it's really emotional. One of the things I've always loved about Pixar is that they can make these animated movies that appeal to adults as much as they do to kids, to the point where you can't just see them as animated movies. You can't just see them as cartoons. They transform into real movies. They're movies that I think anybody could see, regardless of whether they have kids or not. And I would say this, most of the Pixar catalog, 97% of the films that Pixar makes are better than 3/4 of the movies that have won an Academy Award for Best Picture. And I am dead serious on that statement. And the movie's emotions, well, not the characters, but the emotional moments of the movie really take me back to a time when I was younger and dealing with some of the same scenarios that Riley deals with in the movie. And it's something that older generations like myself can really identify with more than the kids, because the kids are going to love the pretty colors, the characters, all the wacky adventures they go on, whereas the adults will have a different look on the movie but still enjoy it just as much, if not a little more. Now, are there any negatives of the movie? Was there anything that I could say was bad or that I didn't like? Honestly, I can't think of one negative. I walked out of this movie thinking, that was really, really great. And then I started thinking about what I liked, what I disliked, and I'm just like, there's really nothing I didn't like. I mean, nothing. I'm really drawing a blank. And that makes me so happy to say that Pixar has finally made a movie that has come out, is back to form, and I can't think of a single complaint about it. I think it's a flawless movie. It's funny, it's exciting, it's emotionally powerful, it'll get to your heart and emotions, pardon the pun, and I just think it is a brilliant movie. It's currently my favorite movie of the year, and it's going to make my top 10 list. And unless we have a really fantastic rest of the year, it's going to be in my top 5, because Inside Out, it's classic Pixar. They're back to doing what they do best. Get off your ass and go see it right now. Whether or not you have kids, you have no excuse to not go see Inside Out, and you have to see it in the theater, because that's the way you're going to get the full impact of it. And also, when you go see the movie, make sure you get there early, because like with all Pixar and Disney animated movies, there is a short that precedes it. This short in particular is named Lava, and it's basically a musical that centers around this volcano who wants to fall in love. It sounds weird, I know, but when you watch it, like with all of Pixar stuff, you'll end up really liking it, I think. So, not quite as good as some of their other shorts, but it's a short that's definitely worth seeing in your lifetime. I mean, if you see Inside Out, you have no choice to see it, so it's a good short. But Inside Out, favorite movie of the year so far. And that's my review for Inside Out. Now, we have another Pixar movie coming out later in the year, The Good Dinosaur, and I'm going to do something in between now and The Good Dinosaur. I'm going to be reviewing every Pixar movie. And I'm going to be reviewing their entire catalog leading up to the release of The Good Dinosaur. I've already reviewed Monsters, Inc. and Monsters University, so you won't be seeing any new reviews for those. And obviously I have to finish reviewing the Terminator movies, but once the Terminator movies are taken care of, I'm going to be reviewing every Pixar movie until I've reviewed them all. So tune in for that series of Retro Wednesdays, but until then, leave a comment and tell me what you thought of the movie if you've seen it. What did you think? Like, subscribe, share me with your friends. And this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one.